Good morning, everybody. Friday morning, 9:30. Back with Football Manager, and we're trying to avoid relegation here. So let's not panic and look into this. How can we do it? So first and foremost, we gotta assess the situation at this point. So we're 13th in the league, tied with Ytterhogdals and IK. We've got a better goal difference, great. But overall, we need to improve, and we need to stop conceding, I think. That's especially true for the last game. The last game we went up 1-0 and then conceded 2 goals. And I think it was a bad idea to retain the tactic that we had going for us. A similar argument can be made about the game against Sollentuna, but I think against Sollentuna we went down for first. And overall, I feel like we're trying to score too much. On the other hand, we are not that strong on the counter, so this is a tricky situation. What I thought about though is I want to remove these and probably this. So whilst I'm not opposed to the idea of playing a possession football, I feel like it's a better idea to vary it a little bit and give the players more creativity on the pitch in that sense, because we're kind of restricting the possibilities of our players, and that might it might come at the expense of some penetration if we try to instruct them specifically how to play. So there's that. Also here with the early crosses and so on, some of this stuff, I'm not sure if this is useful. Generally yes, but I'm not sure if it's useful for us in this situation. So I want to remove this just to be sure that there is some variation of the tactic going on. Okay, so this looks good. Yeah. We will also need to see with the instructions of the defensive line and the pressing trap and so on, if this is something that works. Also the tackling, the hard tackling. I'm not so concerned with the disciplinary action, but I want to look through the physicals and the tackling overall and see if this is even something that, or is this something that we can do as a team? Because, well, for Sel certainly a strong one, yes. Gorovic, not so well, it's okay. Tillander, not so much. Ekman, kind of. Alp, not really. Boldiger, Blom and Hagedal are strong, obviously. Ngongo is strong. Yeah, so overall this doesn't look that bad for the first team right now at least. But we don't know who will play next game, so let's look into that later. I'm also not too sure if we want to go with the slightly more direct passing here. So for counter formation, this is obviously not a bad choice to go with more direct passing, but I don't feel we created that many chances. So there's two ways to go about this. Either we can go with more direct passing and just try to make it count once we counter, or we can actually just not counter at all in this formation and try to retain possession. Play a patient game, and if something opens up, that's great, and if it doesn't, well, we play the ball around and that's about it. So in that sense, defensive formation we wouldn't try to score, let's put it that way, or not with the order of magnitude, I'd say. Gotta remember that this is pronounced Warwick going forward. I was taught about that last time. So whatever happens, next game is against IFK Haninge. And they play, well, a formation we should be aware of. But luckily, they have 3 suspensions for the next match. So hopefully that sees them a tiny bit weakened. Well, another thing that I wanted to resolve is the thing with the scouting. I think it would be viable to scout our own league again, even if it costs us. We cannot deal with the opposition at the moment, and this is not good. Also, he's someone that I would be willing to sign, sure. But I think we've been there, yes. But scouts are hard to come by, so maybe we can look into stuff and look for a really bad scout with some knowledge in some other areas, maybe. I'm not too concerned about that. Let's get rid of these. So we need a scout. And I don't care about adaptability at this point. Oh. Well, okay, he wants to be a director of football. And he's really suited for it. Really, really suited. But scouting knowledge doesn't tell us anything. Yeah, he's born in Sweden, probably. Spent his entire life in Sweden. It's really cheap. So I don't want to splash the cash on the director of football, but this is really cheap. And he's got really great judging player ability and potential. And his knowledge in Sweden would probably be decent. So I realized that we have full knowledge in Sweden, but he could be a guy to ask for, or to oh, he's willing to go with a scouting role even. Well, okay, in that case, I'm willing to negotiate. Yes. So this is a case of bang for the buck. I didn't expect this to happen. This is purely by accident. Recruitment team is in need of a chief scout. Well, no, but he can do that. So we'll try to negotiate for 40 and see what's going on. Yeah, we might end up with 45 anyway. Wonderful. Now, do we want to sign this guy with that scouting capability for another year? Probably. He's a really good scout, so we can have another one. And I would be very glad to extend his contract in case we get promoted, which will not happen. So now we do this. Oh, he doesn't like that. Okay. Doesn't want a relegation wage job. But this is really great. He's also got decent adaptability. Can we get a 5% relegation wage drop in? Yes. How far can we go? This is too much. Okay, 15%, whatever. I didn't expect us to find a reasonable scout for that price, especially. So this is normally I wouldn't want to pay that much for staff, but in this case, he's got really great attributes for our level. So I'm happy to pay that. In that sense, it's a bargain, even though overall for from a club finance perspective, it's not that great. But he looks like a decent scout, yes. Okay, so he will probably scout once he arrives. That is, he will probably scout our own leagues. Yeah. we didn't deserve to get anything from last game. In the game against Haninge, I do not want us to concede first and foremost. That's the most important thing to me. Playing for set pieces is fine. The pass into space approach, I'm not sure. So if we have a lot of anticipation, or decent anticipation, and especially physicals, like acceleration and pace, we can make a pass into space work. It's not so much about the off-the-ball movement in that sense, because, well, it might be, depending on how far they push up. But first, we need somebody who's got great anticipation and who will be able to just see what's going on, and that he can make a break or go for a break. And I'm not sure if we have that. On the left wing, that would mean Puget. His anticipation is only 8. So I'm not too convinced about that. Maybe pass into space isn't a great approach here. I'm trying to reduce the amount of tactical instructions to vary it a little bit, because I feel like the opponent has us figured out most of the time. So well, okay, we'll see after a week of training how it goes. Luckily we have an entire week of training. So what do we need? This is an experience heavy area. We didn't distribute much of the match experience so far. Maybe they have some left in the tank. So I'm willing to go with overall training here. Hopefully develop a few attributes, and well, disregard the match against IFK Hanning at this point. Now, we will probably go with some match preparation, but what's going on? Teamwork and pressing are in. So if teamwork and pressing are already in, I think it's viable to go with defensive shape, and hope for that the rest goes on by itself. Sure, we could do a lot of match preparation again, but really it didn't work out so far, and we need to improve the squad overall. And also, player values need to increase and all that stuff, so there's a more strategic goal in mind in that sense. Okay. Sure. Is there something else to do? Probably. I think player morale isn't horrible at this point, but it could be better. And if we look at the decent run of results, this is not good enough. Overall, this is really just not good enough. So, in my mind, we can have a team meeting at this point and tell them that it doesn't work that way. Yeah. Sure, that's true. So, I don't know if this improved their overall meeting atmosphere, encouraged. Yeah. There's a bit of a better atmosphere now. But it didn't improve much, you see. Well, for some. Lucas Johansson. And for Christopher Alp. So some of the players reacted positively. This is good. No, I think overall team cohesion will have a bigger impact, but we cannot force cohesion onto the players without, well, sacrificing something else. So, not sure what to do there. I don't think we've ever played Haninge, so I'm not sure what to expect. It's not a big deal. We don't know what to expect for most of the teams in the league right now. So we were under pressure for a lot of the match, yes. And we tried to play in a positive manner and this didn't work out. So in that sense, we didn't deserve it. Let's put it that way. Expected goals wise, well, it looks a bit better, but really, it's not like we were unlucky. This is an expected result. Passes last match. Look at the lack of involvement of Ekman. There were a lot of direct passes between Ishak and, well, especially Portugal Blom for Ishak. So this is a lack of options, I feel, for Boldigord Blom. He went with the long ball. And the opposition didn't play in the center of the pitch. Well, to a degree, with Tesfaye. But Grunberg was basically taken out of the game. The thing is, I remember Tesfaye. He's a good parser, good off the ball movement, hard to pin down. Gave away a decent amount of long shots and chances. Not good. Let's see how they get through the week. After training and all. And obviously with the next match we will need to find a way to penetrate the opposition and create chances. Or also defend against their strengths, no matter how you want to put it. So they play a gegenpress style with a more cautious mentality at home compared to away matches, apparently. This is weird, but okay. And given that they're trying to press up high on the pitch, well, in a cautious mentality, but they try to press the opponent. Let's look into the player base a little bit here. Well, we've got some knowledge of them, right? It's not too bad. Can deal with that. So, okay, he's a fast one. If he plays on the left, it'll be an inverted winger, and he goes forward whenever possible. So there's that. Then he's moderately fast. He's moderately fast. As is he. None of these is really a slow player, but what comes to mind immediately if I look at these central defenders is that our striker, Ishak, might be able to outmuscle them from time to time. Not the entire time, and most of the time he will be shut off, but he might be able to muscle his way through to a degree. And there's also a thought that comes to mind immediately here. Not only that he's slower than Tillander. That's a weird thing to say with acceleration 11 and pace 12. But Tillander should be a tiny bit faster. But he's also want to get forward whenever possible, and knocking the ball past the opponent and so on. So in that sense, there might be some space here, from time to time. Even though he isn't instructed to do so. Umon, on the other hand, well, I think he provides enough width to the pitch. Let's put it that way. So what about the attack? This guy's fast first and foremost. This is an advanced forward or a poacher. It's put down here as an advanced forward. I think this is what we can expect, yes. And as an advanced forward, he lacks anticipation. Also, with that jumping reach and strength, we might be able to outmuscle him with the off-the-ball movement. Tight marking will not help much, but we might try. I think it's a bit dangerous to focus on this striker on his own, though. There's an inverted winger here and a winger on the other side. The inverted winger out here isn't that fast. He's got good corners, so we shouldn't maybe even hold off on the tackling for the entire squad. But he's more of a strong guy. Decent long shots. Crossing's not that great. If we can show him to the outside, he will be reduced to the bad crossing and to the, well, somewhat decent passing. Good off the ball movement though, so it will be hard to man mark this guy too. Better close him down. And he apparently would make an appearance as a winger. Dribbling's decent, passing's decent. Off the ball movement isn't that great, but he's well, arguably he's rather strong. It's one of their youth intake, seriously. That's good youth intake. I gotta say that. Yeah, he looks like he can play in this squad to an acceptable degree. On the other hand, this is a 16-year-old, so maybe we can I don't know, push him around a little bit. But I wouldn't get my hopes up just yet. And then the central midfielders. He runs with ball down right and knocks the ball past opponent. That's always a bit dangerous in midfield to possess. Strength and jumping reach are really bad. Problem is our central midfield doesn't look much better. And this guy's good. Also knocks the ball past the opponent, by the way, so this might be really bad for them. A lot of ball knocking. So maybe we can interrupt that to a degree. I certainly feel like Nila Forsell would be able to intercept something from time to time. Or Asason, for that matter. I don't know, did he play last match? I'm not sure. Yeah, he did play a little bit, but it didn't help much. I feel like we can put Asason back on the pitch as a starter at this point. Not too worried about the free kick taking and stuff. This is well, bonus, I'd say. But let's look into training for the remainder of the week. So we know that we deal with a squad that tries to play a bit more cautiously, but a lot of the players on an individual basis like to dart forward and create chances. In that sense, playing with a cautious mentality is probably fine for them. So maybe we can try to exploit just that. The individual mistakes, basically, that we expect to happen. And, well, go for a more defensive setup. hopefully can score one on the counter. Now we've got a striker who's decently pacey, who's got the muscle, who's got the physicals overall, but he's got really bad finishing. But in offense, it's not that unwelcome to roll the dice, right? If we score a goal, this is great. If we don't, well, as long as we don't concede, doesn't matter. Now we just gotta make sure that we don't concede. He was removed from the shortlist. I don't know about the personality, but this doesn't look like somebody I'm interested in. Why is he on the shortlist anyway? Oh. Well, maybe it's an option for the future because his finishing is half decent. I don't know. Can we... Yeah, I like them. I just don't want to have a meeting. Can we switch that off? The analyst report can come. Well. Sure. I realize that these meetings are part of the new installments of Football Manager, but I really don't think they aggregate information that well. I'd rather have the full amount of information available. This is not a tablet. I've got enough space on the screen to display all of it. So display all of it. It's okay. So hopefully the overall sessions improve training ratings too. I always feel like having, well, attribute related training improves training ratings. I'm not sure if this is the way it is, but it feels like it from time to time. If you do a lot of match preparation training, there's no attribute training going on, and without attribute training, there cannot be an improvement in attributes, or at least not as much as we would want. And also, with our bad training quality, it's unlikely that the players will develop into anything without some sort of focus. And in this sense, the focus is not so much on a specific sample of attributes, but on attributes at all. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Okay. Good. Craig Henderson. Craig Henderson was annoyed by by the high amount of extra training he had to do. So putting him on quickness training will not help much. But I'm not opposed to the idea, so sure. Let's give him some. Roger Bergeson. He is aerial ability slacking. Yeah, doesn't have a specific training. And sure, his bravery and heading could really improve. So I'm fine with that if he accepts it. By the way, his training has been good, so I might as well praise him. And then there's Johan Andersson. His crossing's bad. That's not the only problem with him at this point. This might also be one of those that had really bad training rating. Now we could improve his crossing, sure. Well, it's either crossing or dribbling, and overall he's worse in with crossing and technique than he is with dribbling, first touch and technique. So crossing is okay. Maybe he can get half a point somewhere. Korovic shouldn't take corners. Well, I disagree. But that's mainly... I mean, we assigned him for taking corners and free kicks. Problem is he was better at these, he got worse. And I don't know why. He had a lot of match experience, but he declined. This is not good. So I do not get why he declined. This is a 22-year-old. Maybe we gave him too much match experience, but it doesn't make any sense either. He might go up one forward though. So we don't know just yet. Neither for Cell, shooting is no longer a weakness, I realize, but it's not like he has any other weaknesses that we are concerned of. I mean, it's not worthwhile to train physicals at this point. Composure and decisions, maybe. Oh, this is new. This might be might have changed with the last patch. So he created 3 chances overall, and is this per 90? No, this is overall. Nice. Yeah. So it looks like Nila Forsell is the player that's capable to do some of the defensive work, that's for sure. Not all of it, but he definitely does some of it. He plays a decent amount of passes, has a good completion. There's key passes in there that are, I guess this means that he plays more key passes than other players. And he creates chances. But his crossing is really bad. Doesn't matter though, he doesn't cross much. Or he shouldn't. So in that sense, this is weak, and we will not improve it very much. But if you can improve his passing a tiny bit, or the quality of the pass, that would be great. I don't think this is down to technicals though. Even though we could go for it, but I think composure and decisions are more important here. And we might even have a chance to improve these. Yes, I realize that they will improve on their own, but let's say we get these up to 9 or 10 in a reasonable amount of time. He might really make an impact on the pitch in that sense. But he's got not much potential left in him, so this is unlikely. Still, we changed training, so this is okay. Oberg, final third training. What about it? It's no longer a weakness? Well, I disagree. I disagree mainly due to the bad decisions. But really, this guy's problem is strength. And I don't know how to fix this. It doesn't look like he will ever get there. He's wanted by somebody for loan. Yeah, we may want to loan him out, sure. I think I said last time that he can remain with the club for the remainder of the season, but I'd rather get rid of the wages. And maybe somebody's willing to pay for it. I do not want to put him on the loan list now. A similar argument can be made for a sale. So I like a player with a decent long shot, but he doesn't bring it to the pitch. Yeah, not enough. So I don't think this is a good idea. Till under and the corner taking. Apparently this is unsuitable. I don't think so. He takes the corners for us, even though he's bad at it. And we don't have a player that's much better. Or he would take corners. He doesn't right now, I think. So in that sense, yes, this is unsuitable. He might do them going forward though. So what's suitable for him? What's he need? Crosses completed on 31%. And he's got 0.39 expected assists per 90 minutes. That's not great. He brings along a decent amount of expected goals though. And shots are on target 46% of the time, at least so far. Passing is decent. I feel like for him to create more chances is the way to go. He's, well, he's an acceptable goal scorer, that's for sure. But this is not his primary focus in this role. Even though we rely on him for goal scoring heavily. And as you can see, he keeps up with it, right? He will be around 8 to 10 goals probably at the end of the season. So it's not down to him that we don't score. Definitely not. In that sense, an improvement in either crossing or passing would be great. And I feel like the passing could improve a little bit anyway. So that's what we'll go for. Hopefully we can get another odd point in there. And the technique will also help with the crossing. To a minor degree, obviously. Technique is always part of it. Similar arguments can be made about decisions, composure, and off-the-ball movement. It's not like this is perfect. But really none of it is really bad, right? The long shots are a bit concerning, but I will not develop long shots on him. That's he's already got good finishing. I don't think this will work. Nila for sell, so the trade gets forward whenever possible is probably not a good idea on him. I'm not sure if this is a good idea on the box midfielder in general, but we can just look it up. Well, if I find it anyway. Well, getting forward whenever possible would mean that he's more of an attacking role at this point, right? And in his role as a box-to-box midfielder, I don't feel that this is viable. This is more of a mid-Salah thing, to commit forward whenever possible and to try to score. But he isn't a natural goal scorer. He's got moderate long shots. I'm not opposed to the idea that he takes a shot from time to time and maybe scores a goal, but it's not his primary focus. His primary focus is as a hard worker. And if he can contribute in that way, that's okay. That doesn't mean that he needs to commit forward. Actually, arriving late in the penalty area, for example, is something I would be fine with. So, don't want to go there. Nogongo knocking the ball past the opponent. Yes, this is an alternative, definitely for him. But the problem is that he's not at the end of his development just yet. And his dribbling is not bad enough. Like, 7 and 6 is not great, yes. But if we get this improved somewhat, knocking the ball past the opponent may not be a good idea going forward as the player ages. Malte Ekman could take indirect free kick. No, definitely not. His free kick taking is really bad. I don't know what's going on here. The technique and passing and long shots and so on are okay, but he shouldn't take free kicks. I don't think so. And he shouldn't train them either. So Simon Larsson needs match experience as an inverted winger, I guess. He's still 16, but we will train him in that position either way. Just because this is what we want him to play in if he ever makes it to the first team. He's also he's missing a lot of attributes, so that's not great. I'm not sure if I agree with the finishing and long shot stuff. Sure, we can train him in it, but it's not that vital to his role. Well, on an attack tier, you could argue it is. Robin Eriksson. Same problem here. Actually, same position too. So technically, he got worse. I don't know, his acceleration and pace improved, but technically he got worse, and this is not good. But it's not like we can do much about it at this point. With the coach's workload, I will need to look into this later on. I don't want to apply it just yet. Stolt is not a good throw-in taker, yes, I'm aware. And the problem is that the coaches, as well as Football Manager in general, recommend to take any long throw taker. Doesn't matter what side of the pitch that person plays. So you might end up with the left defender on the right side to take a long throw. That's just stupid. He has a weaker foot. Apparently that's not good. Sure, but this is a long-term thing. And, well, he already trains on the trade. I want to give him time for the trade and not overload him. Joachim Eriksson needs to develop his weaker foot too. We're trying to get rid of his long shots. So, hopefully we can make that first. And that is Robin Eriksson. We just talked about him. I'm not gonna load him. Well, let's put it that way. If he develops his weaker foot, he will not make it in the team anyway. So, not a good idea. There's another scout. So now we spend a lot of money on scouting all of a sudden. But this is a good one. And I feel like we can give him a permanent assignment for our level of leagues. Hopefully this doesn't result in too many travel costs, but we can look into this. And maybe he can recommend assigning too. Just scouting assignments. Cool. We cannot add one. New scouting is weird. Okay, I feel like we have to set a focus now, right? Yeah, we have to set a focus. So, well, we want somebody. I'm not even focused on this tactic though. Well, whatever. We want somebody in this tactic. Yeah, basically this. We want somebody that's viable going forward. And the potential is not that important to me at this point. But we want to look into players that are capable to play these positions. Age doesn't matter much to me. Can we select the league somewhere? Yeah. Cool, no we can't. So... Well, this is not good. And we will assign Magnussen. There's no analyst to be assigned here, it doesn't matter much. No, that's just about the player. I would have preferred to scout in the league only, but we cannot even select that. I'm not sure why. Cool. So this is us restarting scouting. Now, scouting costs for the season so far have been at 2K. And if in this month this goes up too much, I will remove the focus. I will just remove the focus, because we cannot afford this. But on the other hand, we need to use the scouts. I mean, it's what we paid them for, right? He did. Did we give him a new contract? Okay, apparently. Nila Fossell is more of a fringe player. Well, I'm not sure about that. The alternative would be Hellberg, and he didn't do well recently. He tries to improve though. Like that. So hopefully he can make up on his undoubtedly somewhat dormant potential. I think he's got some in him, even though the scouting team or the coaching team doesn't think so. That's always the case with some of these players. They might not get resold at the level you want to have them resold, but some of these players can be really old and still develop to a degree if you just play them. Yeah, and it's much harder to how do I put this? So if the attribute points are the odd point off, that might be possible to be resolved with some match practice, but if the personality is off, you will never be able to resolve that in time. Like, you cannot get a temperamental player and just say, well, his attributes are great, let's make a professional out of him. That will not work if his professionalism isn't already available. So Ytterhogdals will finally stay back at all times. Great. Good job. Now concentrate on your attributes, please. And I will definitely not send anyone on an intensive language course. This is really expensive. But Collins seems to do, well, to a degree fine without it. I wouldn't call this a great development, and certainly not for a box-to-box midfielder. But minor improvements all over the place, yes, I'm fine with that. To compare Ekman with Ytterhogdals is kind of weird. They are definitely other types of players. Well, they're both slow to a degree, but that's about it. I don't worry too much about the determination or the positioning. Sure, this is bad that he loses it, but he's more of a creative player anyway. Yeah, this might be a hard season for Ekman, though. Because it's not like he's playing every game in his role as a regista. We're not going for controlling the possession that much right now. Just some... Apparently some stuff with triggering the press changed, I don't know what though. Or maybe they are not used to it. Or he isn't. Well, next match is tomorrow. So, is this after the last training? No. Well, yes, it's Friday. So we can already deal with team selection. And also individual talks for the training for the last week. We can deal with those. Most definitely not. By the way, we should look into our new staff. And so can we finally see his scouting knowledge? We have no idea about his scouting knowledge, right? This is weird. Oh. Is it possible that he has no scouting knowledge to speak of? So he needs to, even though he's Swedish, he needs to learn about it? That might be the case here. Well, in that sense, we've got a very expensive signing that has no knowledge to speak of, but has good skills. So, one for the future. Great. Yeah, and I don't wanna deal with coaching courses in the middle of the season. This is concerning, right? Not sure if he's a better head of youth development, and as a goalkeeping coach, I don't think so. And we probably don't want to afford that. So that's not a thing. Okay, training. Who did well in training? Helberg did, apparently. Well, that's a bit surprising. Tillander. Zetterberg. And good morning, Popple. Welcome back to the stream. None of these are praiseworthy, though. This is all strictly... Well, that's good, but not great. There's some horrible performances in here, though. Yeah. And I don't care about the age at this point. 5.8 is not good. Same for Warwick. And also, sadly, for Forsell. So maybe Forsell will not play after all. Even Ishak had a bad week, training-wise. Apparently I criticize them too often. Well, they should train better then. Yes, I did. And it came with an improvement in user interface that was entirely unwanted, but well, I like it so far. Okay, this is a bad example. Here you can see now the expected assists and the amount of chances created. And how many progressive passes they played. Or crosses completed, it is out here, sorry. Yeah. So, I like that one. Hopefully they also fixed some bugs. But I wouldn't have noticed so far. Match engine changes, well, that'll be new to me. So can you elaborate on that, or something that needed fixing? I wasn't aware of anything, or if I was, I certainly forgot right now. But here we can make the argument that Hellberg, Tillander, and Zetterberg warrant a place on the pitch. And that's Hellberg and not Hellström. So this comes to a bit of a surprise. He's certainly trying. Hellström will probably play anyway. Zetterberg, this is fine. Okay, changes on defenders. Yeah, we'll see in game, really. If we see in game, that's good, and if we don't, well, what does it matter? I'll look into it later. But I also had a thought about your question with the new save, and I don't see why we should abandon this one at this time. It's not like we need to push for the new thing immediately, right? I'm always want to start over. It's not like that, but yeah, I enjoy coming into a new club and doing new things. It's not that I'm opposed to it in entirety, but I don't see why we should do it right now. I also made some minor tweaks to the tactics, basically took off some of the instructions that I feel are viable or that I don't feel are viable all the time. So, for example, here the overlapping and the working the ball into the box and all that stuff, I removed that. So there's a bit more creativity here. Yeah, sure. I feel they are much more. In a way, they are forced to do it because this is new content, and new content is always exciting. And there is no new game every half a year. But if you want to keep it fresh, this is the point in time where it makes sense. It reminds me of Path of Exile's update cycle. So there's like a new league every, I don't know, every 3 months, I think. But the new features really are once in half a year or once in a year, and the other leagues are just, I don't know, cheap ones. But they try to do it anyway, because they need the new engagement of the players, let's say, for the new league, and pushing something as a new league is what works for them. So I feel this is similar. It can, arguably, it can get boring. Yes, yes. So of course, if you go, but well, if you go for let's win the Champions League with, I don't know, Tottenham Hotspurs, whatever, sure, you may be able to do that in I don't know, 1 to 5 years. So in that sense, you're not bound to the old database. But I mean, I could care less about the viability of the player data, but I really don't. This is not much of a focus for me. I might as well play with the data of 2 years ago. It doesn't matter that much. It's not what I buy the game for. I buy it for the new features, not for the new database. And yeah, it's all regions for me anyway at some point, so it's not like it matters. Well, yeah, but I can understand the appeal. It's not like I can see why it is important to some people, right? So the expectation is that we will suffer a defeat, just like every single game. And apparently the set piece routines are paying dividends. I wasn't aware of that, but okay. Maybe they do. With the recent development of Korovic, I'm not sure if I want to include him on the pitch. Yeah. Some at least. So, what will we do back here? Anderson didn't train well. Didn't play well. I don't want to exclude the captain though. Ngongo. This doesn't look good. Well, he played much better though. Yeah, had a good game last game. There's no reason to exclude him at this point. So maybe that's a good idea. I feel so, yes. So Haninge are a squad that commits forward with most of the players in central midfield, as well as the fullback slash wingback, especially the guy on this side. He's got gets forward whenever possible, knocks the ball past the opponent, and he's an inverted wingback. So I feel like we've got a chance to exploit this. I feel like they might overcommit. That's all there is to it, really. And I hope that we can keep defense a bit cleaner going forward. We conceded too many goals. Oh, he's not used to the role, so he will not play. Neither is Moreira da Silva. It's really just Anderson, is it? Well, he's not good at it. Okay. Well, that's one part of the problem. Yeah. I also realized that last game a lot of the passing came from Boltegard Blom directly towards Ishak. So it's not like I'm really concerned with this, but we tried to control possession last game, and it looks like they pressed our central defenders. So in that sense, we might have pushed up too high, and it might be viable to go with a midfield press at some point and reduce that. In a positive mentality, there is no one that forces us to go with a high defensive line. We can always press the midfield and congest the midfield area. And yes, well, not in data center, but I checked the passing map in the report. What was it? Is there... Well, this is for the overall matches recently. No, I checked the report from last match. It's not in here though. Yeah, the key findings are different now. Great. And this is for the entirety of the games. Oh. But there was something. So the passes were. Oh, here it is. If you look at this, this looks like Moldegard Blom had a lot of passing. Well, he played a lot of long balls for Ishak. To me, this says I was pressed. I'm a no-nonsense center back. I played a long ball. There's not enough passing going on between these two. So the change for the no-nonsense center back doesn't bode well in that sense for the possession heavy game. I don't think this is a good idea. And even though I like that, yeah. So in this formation, this might be okay, but in the positive formation, I don't think a no-nonsense center back is viable, and that's a problem. We need somebody to play central defender there. It's not like they cannot do it, but they lack some attributes, right? Especially decisions and composure. And they're already lacking in other areas. I don't know. It doesn't develop well. Yeah. But we will go with the no-nonsense stuff anyway for this game. It's probably Ytterhogdals again. 6.25 is really bad. How's Wickberg? 6.25 too. Yeah, bad performances, bad training. The vicious cycle continues. So, do we want to go with Stolt? I don't think so. Muteba, probably better. Muteba improved apparently. At least in his mentals. He is a decent player overall. Avoids his weaker foot, this is okay. Alp crosses from deep and knocking the ball past the opponent. Knocking the ball past the opponent is not something I'm looking for in this game. So I think Muteba is okay here. Really, Alp is a very weird sample of traits, I'd say. Because knocking the ball past the opponent and crossing from deep. I mean, if you knock the ball past the opponent, you might as well go to the byline, right? So I'm not sure what's going on there. Ytterhogdals really didn't do well recently. Well, we didn't play him the last 2 games. I wasn't aware of that. Really? We gave him some rest? Okay. Did Guillermo play? Yes, that's how it went down. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if this is a bad idea. He didn't show anything to put him on the pitch. On the other hand, he didn't have bad performances. Puget. That's more bad performance to me. But Ytterhogdals had 2 games of rest. He wasn't that much worse than Guillermo either. So even though he doesn't fit the formation that well, I think Ytterhogdals is okay in the situation. And then there's the Metzala question, midfield. Well, usually that would be Korovic. Could go with Ekman. But I really don't want to. And Melander, well, all 3 of them have the same problem. Melander, Korovic and Ekman. Forsell not. But Melander, Korovic and Ekman all have the problem that they are not physically strong. Korovic is not that bad though. Might as well play him, that's what we signed him for. Sure. Let's try to get something out of him. But, well, maybe it's just really what it is. He's at the end of his potential and is a bad signing. That might just be the case. Okay, we need a replacement keeper on the bench. Yes, Westberg is fine. 6.35 training rating. Man. He's on a 6.85. Did improve in stuff that I don't care about though. Then we need somebody as a right defender. I feel like Moreira da Silva is the more solid option here. If we need somebody to go forward, Moreira da Silva will probably do it, so yeah. And if we need a replacement for Anderson just due to, I don't know, injury or something, Moreira da Silva is the, let's say, mentally more stable option. That sounds really bad. But Ngongo, he's got the physicals, but he's lacking otherwise. I see why we signed him, for sure. But I don't feel it's good to develop him here, to be perfectly honest. I'd rather have him lose half a point everywhere here and come back with better mentals and technicals, out on loan. This is weird because he's recommended and he doesn't play bad in our league. Well, anyway, so for as a replacement on the bench, I think we will go with Wickberg. It's not like I hate Boldegard Blom, but Wickberg is the one that can play defensive midfield too, and it might be needed in this match as well as in the others. Yes, in an asylum or something. It certainly feels that way from time to time, but no. Choice between Stolt and Alp will always be Alp. We need a left defender, so not a chance that I will avoid him. And as a last-ditch effort, he can also play central defender, if it really comes to it, but I don't think this is viable for more than 10 minutes. And then we have the midfield and, well, striker question. So for the striker question, the problem with Kulovic is just that he doesn't contribute in any other areas on the pitch, and the others are not flexible enough. Rory contributes in 2 areas of the pitch, so we got basically this covered. We might need to go with a pressing forward in the positive formation though, and get rid of all the target man instructions. It might be a possibility. On the left side, we got a choice between Skillermo and Puget. I am not aware why Skillermo is on a heavy load at this point. Same as Asarson. That might be due to too many matches on the last weeks. Well, this is a non-statement, but 183 minutes. 3 minutes he made. And that's why it counts as a heavy load. Well, I don't care. So let's put Skillermo on the bench and give Puget some time to think about stuff. He will also progress due to, well, simply due to his age. I don't feel that match experience is that important to him just yet. And then we've got a free position in midfield, and I don't think there's much of a choice to be made here. Usually I'd go with Forsell, and I feel this is a viable option here too. We can go with Ekman or Melander though, in case we want to dictate play at some point. On the other hand, Korovic can drop back one and try to go for the Register role too. So we get that. Did any of them? Let's do it with the training. So this is a 6.1 rating. Malte Ekman on a 6.4. For Cell 6.25, doesn't warrant an inclusion either. And then we've got Orberg on a 6.25. So the 6.4 wins. This is Malte Ekman, right? Wonderful. Snail's race. So the hope is that we can score on the counter or after a set piece. That's all there is to it. And, well, defend well, right? Hopefully, it works out well. And I really don't want to panic about about the recent results. Plain and simple. If we can, we're at the edge. So if we can get a win, we will get out of this zone immediately. There's some scouting going on here. That's not too bad. By the way, let's have a look at the finances already. Yeah, no scouting costs just yet, but a new scout will probably do it at some point. So, focus and play down the right. Not sure. This is really. I really also feel like these are non-statements here. It would increase our chances of getting a positive result. Why? There's not a statement why that is. So focusing down the right would mean that we play down his position. And he knocks the ball past the opponent and gets forward whenever possible. So I can certainly see the appeal. But why isn't this part of the statement? Also, I'm not sure if I agree. If we play down this wing all the time, we might have a lack of balance because the wing back's on the other wing, right? He's the one to go forward more often than not, probably. So he should be out of position more often. And also all of these instructions are for a cautious mentality. I don't think a cautious mentality is the best thing to do here. And this is just to go back with I know, this is just to go back to the default. I don't want to do that. So in that sense, I feel like the feedback there is always entirely useless. Because the tactical formation changes all the time. So, tactical instructions for the next match. Let's have a look into their lineup. So, it remains the way we looked at it recently. He's fast, he's not that strong. But he's a good dribbler and has decent first touch, so I don't want to go hard on him. He's a right-footed player, but I wouldn't want to show him on the left just yet. This might give him some space, and I don't want to do that. So there's not much to do here other than closing him down. He's a single striker, so support does need to come from midfield, and pressing him might force him into some bad decisions, even though I don't think it will work that well. This here, a right-footed player on the left wing. We already assessed that he's got decent long shots, so letting him on the into the inside areas is not a good idea. We should definitely show him onto his weaker foot, just to show him onto the outside, and his crossing is also not that great. So hopefully he can misplace a few crosses. Also he's 31, so not the fastest guy, but I feel he's got decent off-the-ball movement. So tight marking and also down to the strength. Tight marking is not viable here, I feel. Triggering the press though is. Buster Blosse, right-footed player on the right wing. So he's got really bad crossing for a right-footed player. Or for a winger. He's got really good passing. So, contrary... Well, no. We can argue now that he will not make roads. He will not be able to play the cross into the center of the penalty area, even though we will leave him to the outside of the pitch. But on the other hand, we could show him onto his weaker foot, but his superior passing and vision are dangerous. So what's a better choice here? To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. This guy's, well, the technical and mental capability to play a dangerous pass on the inside of the pitch kind of offsets the weak foot. That said, he has bad long shots, so it's more about the passing, really. And showing him to the inside would show him to a congested area of the pitch. So I will go with showing him onto the weaker foot, but that's dangerous. Soft ball movement is decent, acceleration pace are good, he's a good dribbler, I don't want to tackle him hard. This is dangerous. Then there's Finney. Physically, definitely the better player in comparison to ours. Good passing, good vision. Could we man marking him out of the game? Don't think so. This will not work. But we can definitely trigger the press on him too. Gotta close him down, same for the winger by the way. And then there's Lundström. Decent passing. Same stuff. The same model of player. He knocks ball past the opponent, as does he. So closing them down might result in them knocking the ball past the opponent and losing it in midfield. This is what we're going for. And the rest of it, I don't think is that exciting. Maybe close him down too. Trigger the press on him, yes. He's a left-footed player only. So let's show him onto the right one. That means that Finley is shown into the center of the pitch, and but hopefully not going through the middle all the time. Is there something that we want our players to specifically do? I want Tillander to go with the left defender. And I want Ytterhogdals to go with the right defender, even if it doesn't help much. I just want them to stick to their targets in that sense. And no instructions for Ishak, I feel. Why are these two blue? Great, whatever. So let's submit this. He's nervous. Well, Ytterhogdals, that's part of your job. But knowing that he was nervous, I don't feel the entire team is nervous though. Or is it? Okay, apparently. No. We will encourage the remainder of the team, but Ytterhogdals was nervous. So let's tell him, yeah, he feels the pressure lifted, that's good. The others I'm not so sure if they are nervous too. So let's just box standard encourage them. It's not the worst. And let's hope for better results. Sounds like good stuff. That's moderately well defended by Ytterhogdals. Tillander. No, we face a free kick here by Blosse. It's off though. We were lucky there. Throw in by Muteba. Hellberg with the cross. That results in a corner. Tillander's not the one to go for the headers, but we get a corner. So these corners taken by Korovic, they don't stand a chance though. We instructed them to go with short corners, but there's also some man marking going on here. Looks like it's well defended though. We need a second option. Hellström with a long ball for Ishak. Öman in the center of the pitch. Way out of position. Malman with a long ball. Ytterhogdals well defended. Ishak. Hellström. Hellström for Hellberg. Muteba. Ytterhogdals. Dunge Muteba. Hellstrom. And there's a long ball for Ishak. Arsason loses it. Eyob Ishak evades his marker and goes for the shot. And we give away a corner. Let's encourage them to defend it well. Well, it worked to a degree. Lost with the corner, not a problem for Hagedal so far. Anderson. Oh, Korovic. Nice tackle. Not same here for Ishak. Yeah, and that should be one for Sederberg, yes. He did well to come out of his goal though. Asarson evades Ishak. And it was offside. So we do not create any chances here. Doesn't look well. But the amount of chances they created doesn't look good either. It's basically free kicks at this point. Arsason, Tillander should be able to... Well, that ball for Lillydal will probably go... It's not offside apparently. And he delays play. Helberg. Muteba. Muteba with the cross. Malman well defended. That could have been better. We had a chance there. Ooh, well done by Tillander. Korovic. Asarson. With some sort of pass. Well, doesn't matter. We get a corner. Now, this looks better. This should be in-swinging corner for the best header. Hellstrom, just over. So this is the first chance of the game apparently, in minutes 36. But expected goals wise, we're doing better than they do now. So, I'm not concerned. Do we? Yeah, 15 fouls. True. On the other hand, these 15 fouls kept away the opposition from goal so far. So, and also, there's not a lot of yellow cards right now. So, I'm not sure if I should remove it. Let's put it that way. Because, well, if I remove it now, we might give away more usual chances. Man. But okay, I'll try to go with your suggestion. Anyway, so maybe get stuck in is a bit much. We can always do it back, no, or get back to it. Also, Hellstrom, that ends up with Muteba and Tillander. Cross the line, Anderson, Korovic. Not a counter going on here. Muteba. Ooh, not a bad cross for Liljedal. Not a bad cross for Liljedal at all. I don't believe it. That's it. Jonathan Liljedal with the goal on the counter. I didn't expect that. That was a nice cross from deep by Muteba. Really well placed. The defender, I don't know, he just shut off. I'm not sure what happened there. But must be a lack of concentration. So all of a sudden we're up on goal. Now, can we keep it? That's the question. Ishak. Well defended by Anderson this time. Tillander. That would shoot us right up on 12th place right now. Oh, free kick for Tillander. Ha! Rattles the crossbar. That was really close. Ytterhogdals with another cross. Okay, that's easy for Jakob to get to. But, well, we had a free kick. That was a close one too. This looks good. I'm happy. I'm really happy with this. Is there anyone that didn't play well? Yes, Korovic. Do we want to substitute him just yet? I don't think so. We'll tell him in front of the entire team. Doesn't react to it. We'll see. Also, this means that Hellberg, who's on a 6.6, didn't drag the team down so far. That's always one of my concerns in midfield. But the two didn't. They were not responsible for any bad performances so far. They defended well. Hellberg, Hellström. Not a long ball for Ishak. Ytterhogdals. What a wonderful pass. And that long shot was unlucky. Or maybe just a normal shot. Not aware of the real distance here. But it was blocked. Sederberg with a really long ball for Jakub. Ullmann immediately goes for the cross. Hellström loses the ball. And we give away a decent chance. So this stuff cannot happen. But on the other hand, with Hellström it seems to happen all of the time. Blosse. One of the other fouls. Well defended though. Ytterhogdals. Yeah, it just puts it out. And this is one for Sederberg. So overall, the expected goals that they had doesn't look that concerning. Ytterhogdals immediately for Ishak and Tillander. Is this a bad cross? Could be. Tillander goes for the shot though, after, well, that questionable performance in defending. Malman, Ullmann, Finlay, that should be offside. Yeah, it was. So, 62 minutes into the game, do we make any do we want to make any changes? I'm not sure, to be honest. Korovic doesn't look decent though. So, even though Ekman is not better suited for the role, I think we can play Ekman in this situation for Korovic, or even Skilermo. It's not far off for him, right? Let's not go with Skilermo. Actually, let's go with Skilermo. I feel like Ekman would be more threatening going forward. Yeah, I didn't make up my mind. Okay, let's go with Ekman. But there's two possibilities. Ekman is really a good passer, so in that sense he can be really threatening to the opponent. Also long shots. Skilermo is neither a really good passer nor a decent long shot, but he's got the physicals. So what's more important here? I'm not sure. They can both be threatening within their own limits. But Korovic didn't have a good game, so let's take him off. He had some match experience at least. Tillander with a free kick, Ytterhogdals. And also I gotta compliment you on the tackling stuff, Popple, with the amount of fouls. We are up to 17 fouls now. We were at 15 prior to halftime, so we basically did not give away any fouls recently. So we've got another 16 minutes to go here. I feel like Ishak can be replaced with Warwick at this point. Is there anyone else that's really tired? Yes, Ytterhogdals. So Hagedal will go off and the Wickberg will come on, hopefully to make it through the remainder of the game. And then we've got another stoppage with another 2 substitutes in case it's needed. Also, so this might be a lot now, but tactical instructions to go for the target man are not included here anyway, because there is no target man. Yes, this is great. So they can go with a long ball now, for the runner, really. Muteba, Warwick loses the ball. Yes, yes. I wouldn't rely on it going forward to be persistent. But it looks like we have a chance here. Well done by Ekman. Ytterhogdals could have scored a second. Malmain. Well defended by Hellström here. Hellberg, Warwick. Loses it immediately. And this is dangerous. Hellström well defended though. Öhman runs out on his position on the wing. Well defended again. Ekman, wonderful pass for Ytterhogdals, but he loses it. Hellström, Muteba. Don't play with fire, guys. Nilsson. Wickberg. Wow, really bad defending by Wickberg there. He was caught out of position immediately. Same for the midfield, by the way. So we gave away the first real chance of the game. 80 minutes into the game. We got lucky. Yeah, that was close. Anderson. Wickberg. Anderson again with the long ball. Warwick is not the one to win these. Wickberg. Harrison. Anderson. Oh, with a questionable header. And there's a long shot. Sederberg. Long ball for Ytterhogdals. He doesn't win these. Öhman. Can we ease the pressure somewhat? And if we can, how? Finney. That's a good pass. Sadly. We were really lucky, well intercepted by Assarsson here. Warwick. With the cross from deep. Ekman. That's some sort of repeated heading going on here in midfield. Hellström. Muteba immediately with the cross again for Ytterhogdals. Also, I can't help to notice, but we scored and we created chances over the left. So, quite different from what we were instructed to do by assistant management. So I'm not sure if I can trust that stuff. Hellberg with the corner because the corner taker is no longer on the pitch. And this might result in an in-swinging corner. So even though his corner taking's bad, maybe we can make something out of it. Other than ticking down the clock, that is. Well, that was close. Ekman. Whew. We created a chance after a set piece. And this is what Ekman was placed there to do, so I'm not, I'm not unhappy with that, I'd say. 3 minutes to go. And stoppage time, that is. Sederberg with the long ball. Tillander. Warwick. Hellberg. He plays a possession pass for Assarsson. Not a bad choice. This might be offside for Ytterhogdals though. Yeah, it is. So who's on the bench? We've got 2 minutes to go. I think Anderson can pull through at this point. So no need for Da Silva. Same for Muteba. I don't feel this is necessary. Ytterhogdals has a good game. No use substituting him. Skilermo is more of a box-to-box player than... well, let's not go there. So Skilermo can play on the pitch somewhere here, yes. I'm not sure if it's needed though. I don't feel we need to make any additional substitutions here. Hopefully we can pull through. Also, I'm not sure what to tell the squad here. To concentrate. That will not go down well. Is this offside? It isn't. We gave away a really good chance here again. So at this point we're really lucky. But for the majority of the game, we deserved it. That might result in another long shot. Ekman. Yes. He takes those. Sadly, they were not on target today. Malman. Asarson. Warwick. Can he run for it? He can. He's nervous though, apparently. Tillander just goes down the wing. Yeah, now we pass back for Anderson. Warwick in the middle of the pitch. Helberg. He is looking for a pass. Muteba. He goes for the cross. That's well defended by Tillander. Just gotta notice that. Third, but yeah. It's probably on level with 5th division in England. So that's a decent foul though. I can live with that. Yes, it's annoying that they've got another chance here, but I can live with it. Blossom, Wickberg, Blosse. That's it. Lucky, really lucky. But overall, it worked out just fine. So we definitely dropped off defensive-wise in the second half. That cannot remain that way going forward. But we had a win. We had a win. And sadly, that moves us out of the relegation zone, but not to a large degree. Apparently everyone else won too. Well, not everyone, but this is close. This is still very close. So, yeah. Not great. Yes. Yes, they same here. They and they started creating really. On the other hand, we had our chances too, for that time. So the thing is, we gave away high quality chances. We shouldn't. That's really the problem about it, I feel. But we were also lucky to score that goal, right? It's not like it was. Well, how do I put this? I feel like I would love to have more of these goals with some reliability, but it's not like I feel like this is a goal that we would usually create that way, in a reliable manner. So I don't feel this will happen all the time going forward. Okay, let's go to the press conference. Yeah, sure. Cool. That's all there is to it. They're just worried about Tillander playing on the right midfielder position. As if it matters. It's both the same role. Yeah, sure, he plays a bit deeper, but he did well defensively too. Okay, so we won the game against Haninge. That's good. Maybe, yes. I mean, I feel like also in real life there's football to a degree is determined a lot by random skill or random shows of skill or random freak accidents. Let's put it that way, because you can always concede the odd goal. In that sense, the results of football matches are not entirely fair, but that's part of the appeal. It's quite different from I don't know, handball, where there's much more goals, or basketball, or I don't know. Is it tennis in English too? Probably. So there's a lot more points to be given there. And football, it's about the odd goal, and that's part of the appeal. But it also makes results much more unfair. The BFC progress again with the Belgish award. I don't care. There's some sort of voting for some award in Belgium every single season, and I have no idea why I'm invited to vote. This feels like a database error or something that the Swedish guys need to vote for some sort of award in Belgium, but maybe there's something that I am not aware of. Okay, yeah, next match that is. So we face a similar formation, and apparently a squad that has a lot of weaknesses. Look at that. But they're 8th, so we should respect them. This is a striker for split div, really. Strength 4, jumping reach 7. 12 points acceleration, anticipation, decisions and off the ball movement are great, and 15 points of finishing. 15. Heading 10, technique 10. He's a natural goal scorer. But he's not even their primary striker. Yeah, there's I think it was Sealand that did an analysis on most important attributes for players, and it turned out that for strikers one of the most important attributes is not finishing but strength. So data-driven stuff. Yeah, I feel like this is a viable option, yes. But I will look into the tackling hard on a game-by-game basis, maybe. If I look at this immediately screams we are weak, right? Strength 5, Strength 4, Strength 5. Christopher's Strength 4. So they got good technicals, but the entire attacking department is really, really weak physically. I feel like we should stomp them into the ground at this point. The defensive midfielder is the first player that has decent strength. And, well, the rest of the defense, apparently. Yeah. But this is really... well, he doesn't have good strength either. So that's the right defender. That means left side, which means we might want to go with... No, Warwick and Tillander both have bad strength, right? We cannot outmuscle that guy. But in that sense, I feel like giving them the space is really dangerous. So this is an away game anyway. I agree that we should stay in the defensive formation. I'm not sure about the hard tackling. So this is a two-sided coin, right? On one hand, I would really like to impose on them with their strength, but on the other hand, they have really good technicals. Like let's look through these. Dribbling, first touch, technique is good. Yeah, well, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It depends. It's not only about the finishing, I feel. That doesn't say that finishing is not important. Finishing is important too. It's not like Split Bliss got it wrong or something like this, right? It's just that there's so much pressure on a striker usually that it's not so much about the quality of the finish, but more about the amount of chances you need to create. But this is an old video. This might have changed with the current installment. But on the other hand, it makes sense. A weak striker doesn't stand a chance if he's not capable of outrunning the opposition all the time. And even as a weak striker, a physically weak striker, you will probably, well, even if you can outrun the opposition, you will have the elbow to the face from time to time. It's not fun to play that way. The dribbling and first touch here are only decent. This is good though. These are all good. He isn't. So we can Oliver Christophers. I will forget this going forward. But Oliver Christophers, we can probably tackle off the pitch, because his dribbling is bad, his strength is bad, jumping reach is bad, his bravery is 1 to 4. It wouldn't surprise me if this guy's injury prone too. Look at this. Who could have known? Well, anyway, so he needs to go off the pitch, right? So we can do that. That's the... Yeah, but these depend on the lineup, right? So if we field Hellberg next match with his strength of 5 and have him tackle the other guy hard with his tackling of 7, that's probably not a good idea. If we go with Forsell though, Forsell is the natural opponent of this guy. He's got strength 12. Tackling is also only 7. But overall I feel like he can tackle just fine against Christophers. And we can also probably man-mark this guy out of the game, because his off-the-ball movement is really bad. So I might even instruct it right now. I want him. Well, maybe not tackle harder, but I want him to mark this Christophers guy in midfield, specifically. What's going on with the blue stuff here? Yeah, they introduced new bugs. Great. Thanks for the patch. Anyway. I agree with that, yes. I agree with that. And I certainly fall victim to this behavior too. It's not like I'm like I feel like I'm elevated. But on the other hand, how can I put this? So without going into details, my meeting yesterday was a lot about human biases too, and it was about let's say a lot of money, and just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you are capable of dealing with it in a way that's better than the way somebody deals with money that has, like, I don't know, 500 euros to their name. So it's not like this is sometimes the distribution of these kinds of biases and the distribution of the outcomes seems unfair. But over a long time series, you still get the result that you expect. But the odd game, in this sense, will not go your way. It will go your way more often than not, but not always. And in this game, it might not be about for sale after all, or about the opposition, about Christophers, because maybe Christophers is just not the relevant guy for this game. On the other hand, he's got really good technique, vision, and work rate, so yeah. And in defense, he might do. Plays as a carriero though, so that's one of the most limited roles in midfield, if I'm not mistaken. Just shuffling between midfield lines. And given my argument might have sounded a bit weird, but I don't want to go into details about this. I don't feel this is, yeah, it wouldn't be okay from a privacy point of view. So I don't want to go there. Okay, what can we do? Sure. One of these biases, by the way, is form. I'm not 100% sure anymore what Socceronomics taught me about form, but I think bad form wasn't statistically significant. Like, this stuff, this might have an influence on morale, but it's not like the last 5 matches are an important thing to look at. Short-term momentum in that sense doesn't exist, if I'm not mistaken. It exists in investing, for sure. At least I'm a believer in it. But well, I'm not sure if this is a bias, but the assumption is that somebody in good form in the last 5 games will play another good game. Now, if this is attribute driven, that's correct, because there's a reason for it. A fundamental reason there is the player is very strong or very pacey or has a very good finish, whatever gave him this great form. This form is based on ratings, right? So whatever gave the good ratings for the last 5 games might give him another good game going forward. If you can see though that the opponent for the next game will be able to counter whatever his strong suit is, he might not have a good game after all. And his good form will not carry him going forward. His good morale might, but it's not about the form. So in that sense, it's misinformation, and you might be. I wouldn't say it's a bias specifically, but Hagedal is not a good defender due to his good form. He's a good defender due to his jumping, and he's a good defender because his concentration is decent. He compensates for a lot of it with the, let's say, the mix of his decent attributes and the really good jumping reach and strength. There's also weaknesses here. He will not be able to outrun a striker. Yeah, and if you face a really pacey striker, which we do, it doesn't make much sense to rely on his good form. So that's uninformed in that sense. That's why I'm also willing to play. Let's say last game we played Hellberg. I don't care about his bad form. He was on a 6.7 last game. That's not great, no, but it's not relevant. Because overall his performance, if I look at this was decent. Yes, I would have wanted a few more interceptions, sure, but if I look at this from a player on bad form and bad morale, this is all I can expect. He's also one of the worst players in the squad. I gotta attest to this, right? 33 out of 36 passes. Wonderful passing, 100% tackling. Okay, he didn't win any of his headers, but he's 1 meter 72, 69 kilograms, and doesn't jump well. So I didn't expect him to win any. And he made 2 interceptions and was, he made 3 fouls. Yeah, he can improve on that. But overall, this is decent. Throw in another key pass and this is a 6.9 and we were happy with his performance. So in that sense, doesn't matter much. So I'm willing to go with him going forward, but not for the next game, because in the next game we might need for Cell to outmuscle the opponent that we will face. So let's not do that. But we can praise his last game. He did well, and the tackling was at 100%, so hopefully he agrees to that. And now he can take the match experience going forward. And as a 27-year-old, I don't expect him to develop much, but maybe he can do something with his fairly professional personality on top. Also, we will go with a similar training this week. So, given that these are really bad, apparently, let's have a look about... So, teamwork and pressing is still on, apparently. Why? Why is there no defensive positioning? We trained defensive positioning last week. Oh, this includes this week's. Is it that way? Well, I don't know. Okay, let's go with this box standard. Really, the projections of the specific bonuses are weird to me. It might be that the user interface only gets updated after you skip through time. It might be that it's time driven, and I really don't know. That makes sense. It makes sense. Because, well, the same can be said about penalties in football, probably. So, psychology-wise, the player is probably much more motivated to concentrate, which is a good thing for the second one. And it takes longer to form to identify with the result. Let's put it that way. It might take longer to identify with I am a bad penalty taker, and this is what actually counts. So I cannot explain it in a better fashion, but it makes sense to me. Now, if he missed 3 penalties in that game, or if you give him a week to digest the fact that he missed a penalty, which might weigh heavy on him because it was an important game, then all of a sudden it makes sense not to let him take the penalty. But within the same game, it's not like he has any time to process this and include it into his perception of his own personality. So it might make sense to give the penalty to the same player. At least that's how I would try to explain it. So these are removed from the not interested list. He's on a contract with Plymouth now. And, well, he's on a decent contract. I don't want to sign him. There's really a lot of interesting biases. If I would have been qualified, I might have studied psychology. Just, in hindsight, not that different from the path I took as a person. But, yeah, didn't. And to a degree, I'm happy with it now. But you cannot be educated in everything. But a friend of mine has a doctor's title in psychology. A really wonderful friend of mine, and I enjoy talking to her a lot. Um, it's a very interesting conversational material usually, talking about these things, and I don't get tired of it. There's always something to find, no matter what environment it is. Um, there's a lot of statistical biases in medicine, for example, too, and the common example I feel is about medication. Um, New studies usually show that new medication is better than the old one, but that might not be entirely true. But there's a bias there, because the new medication, um, well, the finance that went into the study has to account for something. So in that sense, the ones that do the studies, well, the companies have a need to yield better results, and it's not a good result if you find out that the old kind of medication is better than a new one. So switching medications all the time, there's some sort of rotation going on there with new medication substituting the old one, even though the old one maybe did have only minor side effects and the new one has major side effects, and it takes another 10 years to prove that, and find another medication or go back to the old one. And this stuff happens in really serious areas, but also in less serious areas. Another one that comes to mind immediately is the statistic about judges and how they deal with future prisoners, or I don't know, convicts, I'd say, depending on what time of the day it is, and how far off lunch has been. If it's prior to lunch and they are hungry, they might be much more aggressive. Afterwards, they might be more, more forgiving, I feel. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And there's also there's a big bias about psychology too, right? This is Psychology is not like 50% human personality. Or it might be, but the other 50% is statistics and math. Like, it's really heavy on that stuff. So if you feel you can cure your own personality by studying psychology, you're in for a surprise, because there might be some interesting material in there, but a lot of it will be really hard, like t-tests and I don't know, Kolmogorov Smirnov stuff and that stuff. So and I'm not aware of the entirety of psychology's or content as a topic to study. So I might have it wrong, but from what I've told, a lot of it is statistics. Statistics math is math heavy. So in that sense, I'm very interested in it, despite not being great at math. But I really like that stuff. Yes. True. Yes. But I'm not sure what they're. So the psychologists here are more employed as. They're more employed as somebody to as a mental coach, I'd say. This is not about statistics, in that sense. But we've got the flip side of it too. So the psychology aspect that is purely statistics driven or data driven, this is part of scouting these days. This is what I really enjoy about Sven Mislintat and Arsene Wenger, I'd say. It goes in line with the entire Moneyball approach. This is what they are propagating, and this might result in you signing a player from a second or third league team at some point, because statistics show that this is a great player, even though nobody else realized. Yeah, why not? For example, for this stuff, the killer through balls. I'm not sure if this is well, it's a technical thing, but it might also be a mental thing. And depending on what it is, a real mental coach would make sense in Football Manager. On the other hand, they have a system going on here that's really well proven to work with the coaching and the attributes. If they include some sort of new stuff, it must fit the overall picture, I'd say. So anyway, Malte Ekman now dictates tempos and plays killer balls, which is wonderful. Now, hopefully, he can get the attributes for it too. But yeah, I feel he can make it. This stuff will improve at some point. Not so sure with the dribbling though. So what's worst? Teamwork. Great. I cannot train that specifically. But as a register, yeah, teamwork, and then it's off the ball movement for him, which is missing. So we will go with that. Why not? There is it. Also, of course, the stats throughout the season are, well, the attributes are not time static, right? And neither is the mental capacity or the, like, let's say, the morale. So this entire sample is biased, or might be biased. And then there's the problem with small numbers. If a player played 5 games, that might be statistically significant for the amount of passes he played. But if he was, I don't know, man-marked 4 out of these 5 games, you cannot interpret too much into these statistics. Well, now I only gotta do a video about it. I'm not sure if that's enough for as a topic though. But I like the suggestion. I don't know. Drop it into the forum. This is about the Swedish football cup. Are we even aware part of the cup? I mean, we are aware of it, but no, there's no cup games just yet. It might get announced, but I finally realized how the Swedish cup works previously, so yeah. Next match, at least a draw. I'm gonna be aggressive about this now. I want to win. Because, well, we were competitive in the cup. This is still last season's performance, by the way. This is funny, how it works. Okay, so I feel like we should win the next game. And the explanation for this is that I feel we need to win it now that we figured out that these guys are really weak. From a physical point of view. So if we can park the bus, they only have their superior movement. No, I think we can get it really by defending well and by scoring on the counter. And scoring on the counter will be difficult, but we can make do with that too. So Tillander got used to his role to a degree. I don't want to put him as a striker, but that would be one way to do it. Like, go with acceleration and pace for the striking. Because their backline isn't that strong, so we might outrun them. Now if we drop deep, they cannot employ their pace, right? Or not to the degree that we expect them to do it if we push up high. So it's an away game anyway. Let's park the bus. Who doesn't? I don't know. Doesn't matter to us. And great. Thank you very much. You must be. I don't know. Does this remind me of a second league team? No, not sure. I'm not aware of a German example, but there's this fan base that if you talk about playing Europe or Champions League all of a sudden, it might remind me of the old HSV. So in that sense, yeah, you must be born in Hamburg or something. Warwick. How fast is Warwick? Really, he should be fast enough to outrun the opponent. But I nearly forgot. Ishak's got the pace too. He's got it. He doesn't have the finishing, but he's got the rest. So he might score one on the counter too. I'm not sure if we want to make any changes in that sense. At all. This didn't change. We want to tackle him hard. Yes, this is fine. He's a good passer, so this is dangerous. Yeah. Is this what they call? I don't want to mix up things from a medical point of view, but this is what they call bipolar, right? Or maniac. I don't know. There's some kind of term, maniacally depressed or something like this. Yeah, that might fit the description of some football fans anyway. So is there anybody that played really bad last game? Yes, Korovic. Well, yes and no. He was on a 6.3. So he gets his warning, that's for sure. Anybody else? And is there somebody we want to replace him with? Hellberg. As a Metzala? Yeah. I don't feel confident with that, no. I don't think this is a good idea. He doesn't have the finishing. Auberg, definitely not. This is a game that we wanna have some physical presence on the pitch, and Auberg is the exact opposite of physical presence. Ostrom, neither. I don't think he will do. So there's Melander left. He is not a strong guy. And then Ekman on the bench. Well, I can deal with that. Why not? For a second game, sure. Is there anybody that's unhappy with his playing time? Ytterhogdals is dissatisfied with the club, and Wickberg is dissatisfied with the club. They both want a new contract. Okay, and there's one person. Skillermo is unhappy with the playing time. Yeah, well, Skillermo really scored last game, so you can remain on the bench, but I will not give you a start. Not this game. Press conference. I'm also open for instructions at this point. So we took off the hard tackling, right? But if you've got any ideas, let me know. I don't think they will. Can I see them staying up? Sure. I don't care though. Jonas Anderson had impressive training performances. 6.1. What's impressive about these? Apparently Warwick is an optimist. Must be an English thing. He accepted his warning without a comment. Not so great. And I wanted to look into training, right? Oh, Tillander. Well done, sir. Well done. Wilma Melander had... Wow. 7.6 on a 30-year-old? It's not at home, no, it's an away game. Or I would have been in a real... yeah, I think it is an away game. Yes, it's an away game. But Melander had really great training. Even Hellberg, to a degree. But with Melander, I didn't expect that. He didn't have much time on the pitch. He improved his free kick taking and his technique a little bit. That's good. That's good. So we might not put Ekman on the pitch next game, even though he developed his trait, because Melander did better. And next game should be a home game against Ytterhogdals, yes. So against Ytterhogdals, this might be a good idea to go for possession then. And we will try to employ a possession-heavy style of football that is not so much focused on committing forward, maybe. I'm not sure yet, but Ytterhogdals, they might come with really bad morale too. If they play, what was it, Luilo or something? I forgot the name. Sorry. League leaders. Umeå. Well, anyway. So it's Umeå FC. We lost to them. No, actually we didn't, right? This was the only win we had. Yeah, we won against Umeå and lost everything else. So they might come in with really bad morale. This is a potential end of contract signing. The potential end of contract signing is out with pulled knee ligaments. This looks wonderful. And on 240, I'm not interested. Omar Lun can tend to be fickle. This is not the worst of personalities, but he doesn't fit our playing style. And the lack of strength I don't like. He's also fairly susceptible to injuries, so no. Konrad Gustafsson. He wants to be, well... Yeah, that's a jumping reach of 5 that I don't want. So to me this is not a central defender. By any imagination. Ball winning midfielder, better. Yes, but he would want to be, I don't know, he would probably want to be a star player and so on, right? And also be paid really well. I wanna compare him with Asasan. There he is. So, yes, he's the better defender. But on the field overall, he's much of a better player. To a degree, yes, but I think Asarsson can go there. So, not sure if I want to sign Gustafsson. I'm moderately interested, but not to that degree. Jakob Hjelte. That's not bad, but it's too late. Yeah, and I'm not going to pay that for a striker. Sorry. Daniel Söderberg wants to join the game. Or the team. Yeah, the wage requirement will not make that possible, sir. He wouldn't be capable of playing Metsala though. He's more of a ball-winning midfielder type, I feel. Or maybe box-to-box. Nah, neither. So, whilst he has the stamina and the work rate and so on, he reminds me of Torbjörn a lot. Only that he's much older. But he's a defensive-minded player, and that's okay. But for that wage, I will not pay that anyway. Say, we give him a spot as an important player. Or a regular starter? No. Yes, and the wages will not go in a linear fashion. They will not go up in a linear fashion, they go up exponentially, and that's a problem. So it was 160 here. He is not... I mean, the other player, the Asarson we got, he's on a €6 per week contract. I would be willing to pay him, I don't know, 30, right? But 160 is so much more that I don't feel this is worth the additional spending. It might be going forward though. At some point we might have a squad of players that each earn €100 per week, and that's okay. So that amount of payment is fine. I feel. What? There's a recommended sign-in from Belgium? Why? How? How do you know about this guy? You have no knowledge in any nation. So he knows about Belgium apparently, and about players that we cannot afford anyway. There's a Greek one. Who's really bad? Well, in command of area and communication. With AS Pantoriakos. Georgos Kontos. Well... Okay. Not a bad choice. But... I cannot afford them, and how the hell do you know about Greek players? And David Bendrick. Early signs of a quality signing. I don't know about that. Let's offer him a trial. Where does he come from? Oh, he was with a Premier Division club, so that makes some sense. Maybe he's got good personality. Let's offer him a trial. Yeah, sure, come in. Balanced personality. I'm not convinced just yet. Good. Melander and Talander were already placed. There's this guy named Anderson here. He trained really well. But I feel like this has been going on for a while now. Same with him and the bad training. Okay, is there anyone we need to consider here? Hellström and Hellberg. Well, Hellberg will not make an appearance this time, but next time maybe. Muteba and Ostrom. As usual. I don't think Ostrom is a viable option. Yeah, you can put it that way. Yes. The thing with the higher wage ranges is that the higher wage ranges will... Well, first and foremost, we need to improve the wages of the current squad if we want to keep them. This is already happening, but actually we were able to reduce them to a degree. And the other part, that's it's just me saving money, right? So, but you are not wrong. Let's put it that way. I feel like this is part of it, and I feel like we can go to the 50 to 60 euro per week wage ranges now, simply because we have some financial buffer now that might help us with that. And I feel like I don't know, this is we don't know how the season will go, but it looks like we will end up better off financially. And there's also the clauses going on, right? Where is it? We've got another 35k in clauses. And there's also one clause that might be sold, if I'm not mistaken, yes, this one. So we might sell the 50% sell-on clause for Iron Ore Holmstrom for 2.5k, which I don't see happening anytime soon. It's not like we need the money that hard. So we will definitely not do that. I don't know, if we get 500,000 all of a sudden here, I will definitely pull it, but not right now. Okay. You're trying to push me for promotion. But you're right, yes. This might be part of it. So I cannot deny that. We will have to renegotiate some of the contracts anyway, so we might as well go there and have a look into it, simply position by position, okay? For example, in striker position, I want to have another striker, and I'm willing to pay him 50 to 60. That's okay with me. What Ishak is rather cheap. We were lucky there, in that sense. But I'm willing to go with unfamiliar wage ranges in that sense. We'll need to see through the remainder of the squad though, first. So okay, next fixture. We won last game. Is there somebody that did really well last game? Sederberg had wonderful goalkeeping. Well, he didn't need to do anything though. Not sure if I can praise his goalkeeping, let's try. Sure. Why not? Training hasn't been great, but I don't want to comment on training every week. Anderson. 6.1 training really isn't good. 7.3 in the last game, 100% tackles won, no header won. This is really bad. And creativity was off too, so. But I wanted to praise him on the tackling. Even though it's a bit stupid. Hagedal. Training wasn't great. And for the last game. Yeah, especially for a perfectionist. This is really bad for a perfectionist. So, yeah, there's just certainly the possibility that he just is on the top of his ability and there is no potential left in him. But with a perfectionist, I feel like you can give him a season or two to just try it. And if there's nothing left in the tank, you know, players develop even at older ages. So he might make it up to the standard of the team. Obviously not for one league above. But yeah, I'm willing to give him some time. Same with Hellberg in the middle of the pitch. And this is not some sort of familiarity with bad players at this point. I feel like they might develop into something, and even if we don't resell it, it might suit the team just fine. And then it's also about financials, sure. But it's more about the personality and teaching the squad how to be professional about stuff. I feel like this is more important. So here we have good headers and decent tackling. Let's go with the tackling. Not much else to say. This was good. Hellstrom, he made a horrendous mistake in defense, but his heading overall was decent, so we didn't concede, whatever. Sure, Muteba. This is still old training performances. He had an assist, which is really great. He won all of his headers, didn't do the tackling though, but his defensive performance overall was good, I feel. That's good. What about Asarson? 7.1. Thank you very much. That's good. So I realized that, and by now, that this is what's going on. I cannot do anything about it though. I need a better computer, and on this old thing, there's nothing to change here. I cannot. It's not like I can substitute the CPU or something. That ancient hardware isn't around anymore, so I need a new one. But I've got good news in that regard. I might be able to do that within the year, let's say, because, well, I will probably sign the contract for the day job in that will keep me in employment in April. So yeah, they invited me to do that on premise for some reason. If this is how it works, why not? I will do it. So he had decent tackling last game. His heading was better. He intercepted 3. Had good tackling. Overall, I think this is good defending, but it's nothing we can praise him for. Yeah, this is good feedback. Thank you very much. How was his passing though? 75% tackling. I'm not sure if this is good. Okay, it's good enough apparently. And passing would have been bad. Tillander. So I don't think Tillander had a bad game last game, but he didn't create any chances, didn't score. I feel like he contributed much defensively though, but maybe that's just a wrong impression by me. I don't feel this is fair, but anyway. He had a bad game. I don't know how this works. I feel like they mark him out of the game. Is this what happens? We also had a really nice free kick by I think it was Tillander. Might have been Warwick. For Cell. Loose thoughts about it. So the thing is, the evening times are also the times that I am capable of spending time with my girlfriend. So this is obviously important to me too. A similar argument can be made about the weekends. So it might be more sparse. That's the first thing about it. The other thing about it is that I think it's better to stream in the evening, just from a viewer's point of view. Let's put it that way. Not because I want to have like 500 viewers here, but because there's more availability to people. But so these two are in contrasting, right? On one hand, I want to spend time with my girlfriend once she's at home and I'm at home. On the other hand, I might feel inclined to stream from time to time, or even in the weekends. So that says a less regular schedule to me, because there's always the odd time where everybody wants to do their own thing, and that's okay. That happens in like every relationship, right? So I might as well stream at that time and go for, I don't know, a 2 to 3 hour stream. And I can perfectly do that in the evening after work, once I'm used to work. It's not like this feels stressful to me right now. But I cannot make promises, and for a regular schedule, this is highly unconvincing. Also, I cannot do single streaming events in Twitch. I even wrote them a message about it and got a box standard email about using the last browser and blah blah blah. But there is no possibility for me to enable single events. So I can only enable a persistent streaming schedule, and the menu doesn't adhere to instructions. It's really weird. That's also really annoying to me. I would have loved to say, okay, I'll be around today 9:30, but I don't know about next week. I can't do that. There's no option. I can just go for repeated events, which is fine to a degree, because as a viewer you want to know every Thursday there's a critical role or whatever. But well, if this is not how it works, this is not how it works. And the option was there 2 years ago apparently. There's tooltips and or not tooltips. There's instructions how to set it up, even on Twitch itself, in Twitch help. It just doesn't exist for me. I don't know why. So might have to do with affiliate or something. It's yeah. It's I feel like going forward I want to stick to streaming. Let's put it that way. I really want to. But on the other hand, there's priorities in life. And well, your partner should come first. That's just how it is. It's not like come first into opposed to everything, right? You gotta keep your hobbies and what you enjoy and so on, but it should come first to a degree at least. And so there's probably another joke to be made about the way Germans deal with love at this point. But I feel to be analytical about it to a degree isn't like this doesn't say that I'm not excited to be with the person, right? Okay, next match. So we want to tackle him off the pitch. We already got that. We do not want to tackle them hard because they've got good dribbling overall. And there's not much we can do about them. By the way, knowledge about him looks much better. He's a right-footed player. Is it? I'm not sure. I'm 37 right now. I'm not sure if I ever understood my own priorities. It might look that way from time to time, but I don't know if this I don't know if you get this sorted until you're 80. Also, the bug has not been removed here with the weird highlighting. So I don't know about the rest here. I don't feel like specific instructions are in order. Sure, we can show him on the weaker foot, but it doesn't matter. Overall, is tackle harder off? Yes. So get stuck in is off. Let's look how it yeah. And also a lifelong forgetting. Because you always learn, you always adapt, and then you forget about things you already learned in life. It's part of it. Some lessons you need to be taught several times. And hopefully it's not the hard ones. But a simple example is technical instructions in Football Manager and overlapping or underlapping. I do not want to overlap or underlap in every game. Still, it happens a lot to me that I forget the overlap instruction or the underlap instruction, or to remove it. And then all of a sudden I realized that we've been playing for 45 minutes with the overlap against a team that is really great at congesting the wings. So that happens. And obviously I have not been taught that lesson enough, or it's not that important to me because at some point I need to learn. Alright. This apparently counts as a drizzle, even though it does look like cats and dogs. Yeah, hopefully. No cards just yet. First free kick of the game, 5 minutes into the game, Korovic. Not a chance here. Telander. Arsason. Long ball for Ytterhogdals, this should be offside. Yes, it is. But so far we had 3 fouls. Anderson with a throw for Ytterhogdals, who goes for a very long ball for Ishak. And that results in a corner. We take these. Not a problem, we take these. So that's an outswinging one, because, well, he's closed down again. Korovic, Ytterhogdals. Close. Close. First chance of the game. Anderson, Forsell, Telander. Look at that. I didn't expect that to go towards goal, but he tried. And, well, it was more of a technical effort. Ishak nearly caught that one. So he can outrun his defenders. He's not that fast, but he can do it. Ytterhogdals, Karlsson, they are fast. He took the long shot. That didn't count as an expected goal though. Still 0. Ishak. But with the 15 points of, oh, this is dangerous. Is this offside? It is not. Asarson sits down. We do not have, I don't think we have a replacement. Oh, we can see the corner. I don't think we have a replacement for Asarson on the bench. There's no defensive midfielder available. Doesn't look like a knockdown. Niklasson, Ishak, well defended. Anderson, Karlsson, Korovic. Not a penalty. Ytterhogdals. And they retake the ball. Abrahamsson, Niklasson, Karlsson. Telander tackles it. That looks really dangerous. Anderson. He put the ball out of the area there. Ytterhogdals. That's a bad one. Yeah, this is destructive more or less. And I don't feel we need to go through the middle or through the wings at this point. All three could make it. Maybe through the middle and through the right side. But on the other hand, last time we scored through the left, so... Christophers hasn't been marked... They just overran us. I'm not sure what to do about this. So the problem is with the pass from midfield. At this point. There's Nolgren, who passes it for Christophers. He should be man-marked by Forsell. Or maybe not man-marked, but he should be closed down. He is closed down, still capable of playing that wonderful pass. He's just faster than Muteba. And the one in midfield, he's got the anticipation, he's got the pace, he's got the 15 finishing. Just puts it in the back of the net. This should have been avoided in midfield, but really the chain of things is to a degree unlucky, but also to a degree likely to happen. That's interesting. So now we're one goal down, and if we go for... we're 2 goals down. It's offside. Oh, we were lucky in that sense. Yes, okay, it's clearly offside. Very, very offside. But none of the players touched it. So this is a football manager thing, I feel. Not sure if this counts as offside. I'm willing to go to stick to the formation for now, because I feel this is really unlucky as a goal. And it's not like we can do anything about it if we push up higher. Nilsson with the long ball for Ada. Ytterhogdals defends it well. Korovic, Telander. Telander nearly loses it. Arsason. This is a ball for Korovic. And we get another corner. Now, obviously, we gave away good chances until now. I'm not sure what to make of it just yet. Korovic. That might have been addressed for Ytterhogdals, but for Sell here. Anderson. Asarson. Anderson. And he goes with the long ball. Pasha. Yeah, this doesn't look good. So overall we defended well. That feels weird to say, but we didn't give away many chances. And the quality of the chances we gave away wasn't good. With the exception of that one thing. But we didn't create any. So let's try to tell them that this is not good enough, and maybe to appeal to their mentality at this point. So the thing is, we need to change something at some point, but for now, the result is worse than what we do overall. Korovic. Ytterhogdals. There you have it. We can score one of these. These are really, really low-grade chances. But Korovic again. This might result in a long shot. No, it doesn't. Ooh, for Sell. Interesting tackle. Ada. Now, well tackled by Forsell. Telander. Asarson. Korovic. Goes for the shot. Not a bad choice. If we would have hit target, maybe the goalkeeper deflects it, and then we can put one in. Anderson. Telander. creative way of goalkeeping, and now we face the counter. Yeah, but in the offense, what do we want to change? More long balls? Is this what we're going for? More direct passing, maybe? I don't think early crosses will help. Shoot on side, maybe. To have more chances at all. Running at the defense. I don't know, passing into space, maybe. Something like this. Another free kick. That went into the wall. And now I'm gonna tell them that I demand more. Maybe they can react positively to that. Well, Ytterhogdals does. And Korovic does. Niklasson, well defended by Hagdal. There's nobody out there. Niklasson again. It was offside. But overall, the game's not as bad as it looks. No, we don't want to talk the squad strong though. Doesn't matter. Korovic with another free kick. That's a corner. He's very frustrated at this point. Draws the defender out. Korovic with the corner. Ishak doesn't manage to get his head to the ball. Classic dilemma now. Do we keep it like it is and hope for the odd goal, or do we go for more offense? Well done by Anderson. Tillander, Korovic. Oh, come on, Korovic, don't lose it. This is Ishak, right? Forsell is with Christophers most of the time. Anderson, Hagedal. We have the long ball immediately. Yeah. Nolgren. Sabrie, it is. And there's Ada, and there's a good header. So we didn't defend that well. And now we gotta change things. It doesn't matter. We need 2 goals. I don't think this is viable, but we need 2 goals. So let's try to make it. Adam Hellström is anxious. Well, Ishak is as a target man doesn't work anymore. He's tired. So Warwick can come on. We need something else here. And let's go with him in support duty. I was thinking about attack duty actually. Not for the target forward anymore. Doesn't matter, cross for anyone. So all of a sudden we do shorter passing, blah 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 blah. This is all good. Do we want to go for the overlap? Not necessarily, but we could. At least to the right. At least to the right. Also, in that sense, we can take Anderson off the pitch and Moreira da Silva on, who's the better crosser, I think. Oh, crossing 7 and he's got crossing 9, yes. So that might be a better choice. Muteba, I don't know. From a defensive point of view, probably not bad to keep him on, even though we conceded at least 1 goal over his side. And the rest of it, I don't know what to do about it. Hopefully one of them can actually make an impact. It's somewhat unlucky. Now, the second goal, It's also he outran Muteba. Muteba failed in his tackling, and this is a decent header, but this is also bad goalkeeping to a degree, right? Both goals could have been avoided to a degree, but they are not really unlikely on the other hand. Let's try to fire him up, not sure if that works. Apparently it does this time. Ytterhogdal. Not a bad one. Vorik. Muteba. Ekman. Da Silva with a shot. We have something. Ytterhogdals tired, Ytterhogdals on a yellow, that settles it. Skillermo comes onto the pitch, and we've got Wickberg here for Ytterhogdal. Get out there. We need 2 goals. And we do not create much. Korovic. Not a bad header. This is how it should have gone previously. Didn't concede 2 goals over that side. I don't know. Maybe Muteba is just too slow. Yeah, now he crosses from deep. Forsell. Tillander. Forsell again. Da Silva. For Tillander. Pass for Tillander. Cuts inside. Back for Da Silva. Oh no! How can you not score? It got into the penalty area in some weird chaotic fashion anyway. And they do not manage to score that one. Korovic. Hellström with the header, I think. Come on, guys. You can do better. And expected goals wise, we're not that far off. I wouldn't say we are unlucky, but well, we were to a degree unlucky. On the other hand, look at how this guy runs. Skillermo. Well, that's not good. Took much too long to make a decision here. Hellström, really bad clearance. Sederberg finally earns his wage there. That's not good. Nicklason. Corner, Warwick defends it. It's Warwick, sorry. But doesn't matter. We didn't score. Tillander. Whatever he does there. Tillander. Well, they're trying. Hellström, Ekman, nice pass for Da Silva, nice cross, Skillermo. We try. Da Silva, does this reach, Da Silva. Skillermo, that's an offside. This is really annoying. Korovic. Well, you can always lose a game, right? But to lose in that fashion. Ada. Hellström. Muteba. I was close. Ekman, and that's offside. Now they wasted time. And even gave away another chance here. Well, I feel this is the game more or less. Warwick is not a target man, no use distributing to him. Did I forget that? No. He's instructed to distribute to Playmaker, by the way. So definitely not a thing. Tillander runs with the ball down the wing, loses it, and that should be the game. So I don't feel like they deserved 2 goals, and I don't feel like we deserved none. Doesn't matter. In the end, this is the result. We were not good enough. We didn't. I don't know. We had the chances to score at least 1. We didn't put them in, and they did. Now, granted, this first chance, this was a no-brainer. They had to score this one. And it's just what they're good at. We didn't defend it well. The second one, we didn't have to concede that. So I'm not going to talk to anyone right now. This will not do. Especially against such a bad team. There's a lot of weaknesses to exploit, and now we're in a relegation spot. But they have a way to score, and they used it. We were unable to defend this. That's a valid concept, I feel. Yeah. So, Popple, given that you've asked about this recently, is there a time in the evening or throughout the week that you would prefer? Because I might as well ask you at this point. Is there something that fits your schedule a lot? Well, relegation zone it is. Am I angry? It's more disappointed, right? Yeah, sure. So of course I can always go for I don't know on Tuesdays I stream and on Thursdays or something like that, right? But I want to talk to my significant other first about that, and yeah, just find a rhythm there. But I agree on that. Yeah, the schedule is nice, obviously. Well, I'm not sure if this is about the players. I'm not sure if, well, we had... Yes, but on the other hand, this was, well, he was overrun, right? And acceleration 11 and pace 13 are not responsible for that, and neither is the positioning or the marking. Let's have a look at the opponent's players, or at the opponent's player for a second. Where is it? Gotta look into the last match. It was this guy. He shouldn't be able to outrun him. He shouldn't. So it's not about the attributes at this point. So I might need to take that back from what I said earlier. I thought he was getting overrun. He didn't get overrun. Well, he did, but due to a lack of I don't know, bringing it on the pitch. So in that sense, it might have been a good idea to replace Moteba, yes. But I don't know why. Yes. This is a problem with possession-based football anyway. We need to find penetration, but on the other hand, that penetration comes at a loss of control of the ball. So in this formation, this is not a problem to a degree, but the penetration in this formation comes from the two attacking duties here. And these might not be good choices with Ytterhogdals and Korovic. It might be that it's better to go, for example, with Tillander as a penetrating option. He's more than capable to run for the ball, so he should do fine here. We can also go with a penetrating option, like somebody that just a striker that tries to score the goal. Now Ishak's not the perfect guy for this, but we've got Warwick and Tillander. They can go up front. Doesn't matter. We don't have to play Ishak every game, even though he has the strength and the pace and so on. Korovic, I mean, he could do. He's not a good finisher, but really, the problem is that he's in decline at 22 years old. If he had an increase instead of this decrease in attributes, I'd say okay, he can go forward. At this point, I'm starting to question my own judgment, and I don't feel this is like we didn't play him or something. Yeah. Yes. And I think this is not a bad idea. For example, Korovic as a Metzala, he doesn't cut it so far. Now, in the other formation, we have a Metzala on attack duty here too. But attack duty means take more risks, get further forward, so on and so forth. What we can do is something like this. We can, for example, put him more to the back. That's just taking less risks though. So in this sense he would take less risks. We would put Tillander here on attack duty. Attack duty means that penetration is more on the wings. And against a formation like the last one, this might be a good idea. He will still go for the pockets, obviously, and try to move into the space between the fullback and the center back, if that exists in the opponent's formation. So trying to penetrate these, it's not half spaces specifically. It's more at the edge of the area, right? Trying to penetrate these spaces is probably not a bad idea in this kind of formation. And well, with Ytterhogdals, the thing is, he's not that great acceleration wise, but he's got decent pace and decent anticipation. It doesn't show in the first attribute, but off the ball movement, anticipation, and pace are really great. He should be able to run for the ball. he might need the odd point somewhere. I don't know. He's not a natural goal scorer, but for a counter formation this should work. But he's not a natural in this position. On the other hand, he's getting there. To a degree. He will have it at some point. There's also the possibility that we just employ Ytterhogdal in the middle of the pitch. And the Metzala role. But he's got technical deficits, let's put it that way. He's not great, he's great at running with the ball. Or he should be great at running with the ball for our level. So I don't want to use him as a replacement for Korovic. Now, with Korovic, well, we can also just get rid of Korovic. What do we have? We've got Melander, for example. He's more of a playmaker type. Metzala on support, I'm not convinced. Some sort of Caroliero role, not really. But there's not a, well, we can stick to the formation and we can still go for another setup, let's put it that way. But this is no longer a small change at this point. We could, for example, go with a playmaker type here. I don't know, roaming playmaker, something like that, but it doesn't make much sense here, because we're not going for possession in the system anyway. Also, just to put this out here, we didn't score through, we didn't concede through the middle. It's not like this roll on attack duty got us penetrated. The penetration happened over the wings. Yes, it was initiated in midfield. So well, if we stick to that train of thought, then this is fine. This is not a problem. So we didn't create that many chances. Well, the minor change might be that we do not close them down good enough. The minor change might be that a load block is a bad idea. Because if we go for a mid block and try to engage them earlier, we can change two things. We can change the fact that they played the pass for the wing in the first place. So they should have closed down earlier, and with the closing down earlier, we also get the chance to win the ball higher up the pitch, and maybe go for the out counter situation. So whilst I think this is somewhat counterintuitive, maybe this would have resulted in better possession for us, better chances, or more chance creation really, not better chances. But it might also have opened up the defense a bit more. So this is more risky. On the other hand, it was also risky to give him possession in the middle of the pitch and to have these long balls played against us. In a way, a multi-Ekman type was well in control of the midfield for the opponent's team, and just put out 2 or 3 nice balls for the wingers, and that's it. And that's how we conceded. So, would this be a minor change, like you see it, closing them down a bit higher up the pitch? Might result in other problems, obviously. We might also go with other roles, but I'm not sure which player would go for another role here. The ball-winning midfielder could move forward, and we could use a playmaker here, for example. That's also a possibility. We do not have to have Korovic here. And in that sense, we would have the creative outlet in defensive midfield position always, no matter the formation. That's also a way to go about it. We've got the players for this. Asasan can move forward and, well, don't care about Korovic at this point. But we can have Ekman and Melander back here as deep lying playmakers always. So and that would result in them playing the killer ball, I'd say, for one of the options in midfield or on the wings. It's also a possibility. Unless, I don't know. If we put a ball with a midfielder up front here, a more defensive one even. But sure, we can try something like this. Ytterhogdals is a home game though. So yeah. Anyway, actually, I'm willing to go with additional streaming today. The problem is I need to eat something at some point, and I need to cook first. So that means I will need to go for a break and come back later. And I feel it would be unfair to go for a break for half an hour or an hour. So maybe I will cut this into 2 separate sessions. In any case, yeah, I'm not too happy with the results, but it has been fun so far. So I'll say goodbye for now and maybe come back in an hour. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much for the feedback. This might imply that we need to push up defense though. Because now that mid block might create a lot of space between the likes of Lilydal and Muteba or Tillander and Anderson. Especially if the two up front are more inclined to dart forward. Let's say it that way. It's more of a structured approach. So yeah, I'll go for a break. Let's say we take an hour, and I'll be back at 14 p.m. GMT +1. So yeah, and I don't know. Maybe we can get some time on some fresh air, some sun too. Apparently that's healthy. So yeah, see you in an hour, and thanks for listening and watching. And until later.